Hey, this is part 2 video of CACNA1A Awareness Day. This I'm going to share a little bit about my journey. So I was just recently had the genetic confirmation of having a CACNA1A variant causing episodic ataxia type 2. However, in the notes, it had said the initial symptoms can include developmentally delayed, intellectual disability, autism spectrum disorders, and seizures um, in some individuals. My genetic test came back as a likely pathogenic variant for having the disorder and episodic ataxia. Um, However, being a likely pathogenic variant is a very high chance it's a disease-causing variant to cause my problems. And my genetics team is highly confident it's the problem or the cause of my issue. Um, but I have to follow back in a couple years to see if it had upgraded to being guaranteed to be pathogenic, which is definitely disease-causing variant. So that's something I'll have to look forward to. Anyway, initially, when I was born, um, I was late to walk, talk, meet my milestones. Um, I was diagnosed as being developmentally delayed. Um, and I've shared my story before, so I'm going to make this very brief and cover the most important parts. But later on, about the age of 9, I was starting to get dizzy. And so it wasn't frequent at the time. It did not interfere with anything until going into high school or whatever. It became very disabling. And I was suspected to have intellectual disability, autism spectrum disorder as well. And I had severe emotional issues and severe inability to cope with certain situations, and which I required hospitalization several times because of that. So I had severe emotional issues. So, um, and some people a lot of people with developmental disabilities have trouble, developing the right coping mechanisms for stressful situations and whatnot. So, in regards to that, I was suspected to have episodic ataxia type 2 in 2009 when I was 17 years old. I'm on a medication called ectozolamide to help control the dizzy episodes I was having and the nausea. It did help tremendously. Though there are some situations and circumstances I deal with on a more consistent basis. It by no means doesn't take it all away. It has limited the amount of dizzy spells I get, but I do still have balance issues periodically, and they happen often. So turning around corners, running into the side of the wall, losing my balance, that kind of thing. So I have a rollator walker I use, and I have my own wheelchair in case I need it, as busy days and long distance outings tend to aggravate the condition. So it often confuses people because, some days I can manage to walk unassisted. I look fine. Other days, I'm using my walker or, you know, whatever. I'm having a bad day. That's what it's like with my condition. I've gotten severe headaches. I have had debilitating vertigo. So severe it would confine me to my bed or the wheelchair. Um, and I can't walk when it happens. So other times I randomly lose muscle control in my arms and legs, where I can't get my body to do what I want it to, like move my arm in that direction. My brain tells my arm to move in that direction. Sometimes it wants to do something else. So, that's a factor with my condition. So, I wanted to share a little bit about that with you for the Awareness Day and what it's like for me. However, on a regular basis, I deal with cognitive issues, my developmental issues, my disability, um, my learning issues. I have trouble with my memory, retaining information, and all that plays a havoc on my day to day. Even though I'm not having an episode of my attack. Other times, I do have permanent nystagmus, so I get the twitchy eye movement. Sometimes, if I move my eyes or head side to side, there's this little dizzy feeling I get. However, it lasts a few seconds and it goes away from my nystagmus, um, which are uncontrollable eye movements I have. And I have, you know, um, I I have trouble with keeping up at a quick pace and multitasking, which is a permanent thing with me. And I have permanent cerebellar atrophy, which is like in the back of my brain. Um, I have volume loss or um, a shrunk cerebellum. So that plays a factor too, and it's a permanent thing I have with my condition. It doesn't go away. So I have that. Like I said, I have trouble multitasking. I can't get my body to um, go fast. So doing things like working as a cashier would be extremely difficult for me. If it gets real busy and I have to multitask and I have to go quick, I can't make my body physically do that. It's Then I become easily overwhelmed and it's emotionally overwhelming and I tend to have a meltdown. So that isn't really good, especially in public. So I've had trouble with that. But yeah, I wanted to share a little bit briefly with you what it's like living with a CACNA1A disorder. So I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you next time. Bye now.